Guys, and welcome to Caribbean Vibrations. It's your girl Tammy Chee, and this week it's all about Trinidad Independence. So here's what's coming up on this week's show. Coming up, Alain attends the TNT Heritage Group fashion show called Cuttin Style. Noorez has an interesting conversation with soca legend Superblue. But first up, we attend the opening for a brand new Trini restaurant called Trin and Bago.
We had started off from two other locations about 7 years ago. It was originally 4 Girls Roti Shop. And then I really wasn't taking it to a further step to say, well, look, I will go further. I was just going to run that business just to survive with my 4 daughters, which I came up with the idea, 4 girls, my 4 daughters. And I came up with the inspiration that, look, you know, I want to do something different and go further with the business because I could have seen a potential in it downtown Whitby. And I met this friend of mine who introduced me to someone by the name of Andrew Williams. And I spoke to him about transforming the 4 girls and see if he could have modernized it in somehow. And he went home, he think about it. He's a very good artist, really. And he came back with this name from Trin and Bago because I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. So he shortened the name Trin and Bago's, you know, and I find that it sounds really good. It takes a little bit of time before it digests from 4 girls, being as 4 girls was a very sentimental part of me. It was all with my 4 daughters and myself who built it, who started it with $67, I will say. And he came up with the idea, Trin and Bago. Again, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to kind of come out completely on the full Caribbean, you know, thing all the time. We all carry the same thing all the time. So in order to introduce the Caribbean meals into a fusion, I decided, okay, I'm gonna fusionize the meals, like the jerk chicken, oxtail, fish, and you know, ackee and saltfish and things like that. I was going to fusionize it into like a Subway style, you know. So instead of you having a kind of cold cut and you know, meatballs and things like that, I said, okay, well then if you can do that with the cold cuts, well then you can do it with the Trinidad style, you know, cuisine. So we started to, you know, experience on the different taste buds on the, you know, with the jerk chicken and different things like that. People should come to Trin and Bago because it's all homemade style, right? When you come to Trin and Bago, it's like you come back home. You know, it's not, we are all organic meals, you know, freshly cooked, right, on the go. Right, and it's also been cooked by me, the main chef of Trin and Bago, and which I'm very particular, so I'll be sure of getting home fresh cooked meals every day.
Caribbean Desire, serving up good times and great food for over 10 years. Come and enjoy their all-you-can-eat lunch buffet Monday to Friday, or the special weekend breakfast buffet for only $8.95 starting at 8 a.m. And Caribbean Desire offers catering for all occasions. Fridays and Saturdays, the dance floor comes alive with Toronto's hottest DJs, playing the best in Hindi, soca, chutney, and reggae. Caribbean Desire, 6435 Dixie Road at Courtney Park in Mississauga. Call 905-564-8955.
So guys, as we all know, legendary soca star Superblue had a fantastic year with Fantastic Friday. And for the first time in 10 years, he's back visiting Canada, and Nunu got a chance to sit down and talk with him. So let's check it out.
Hey, it's Noorez for Caribbean Vibrations TV, and we are at the Sound Academy, and I have a very, I always have a special person standing beside me, but right now I have the incomparable, the legendary Superblue. How are you doing, sir?
I'm fine. I'm in Toronto. So.
You are in Toronto. It's been about 10 years since you've been. No, about 10 years. It's been about 10 years. Yeah. So, what have you been doing in the last 10 years? What?
Preparation at this caliber, always on board, working, thinking about something, writing something, producing something. I wasn't on center stage, but on the gong, always writing, producing, writing.
Thinking about the next thing that you're gonna create.
Never stop.
What has been since the last 10 years? What has changed? What has brought you to the place that you are at now?
It's just it's time. Nothing happened before it's time. God is time. God, you could put things in place, but when He see and the Father see, it's time to go. Time gone. Well, just more rehearsing, preparing, plenty preparation. Because remember, this music, I still say for last, but then right now, it's the only music right now that have been given the chance, right, for the front row. Right now, the last resort is soca music for the world, the joy, inform, educate, entertain, heal. There's tonic water, there's medication. It's the most joyful music in the world. It's just time. It's time. It's time for it to surface. Big time. And we're ready. It's ready.
So what kind of things do you think that they can do to help it quicken that process of surfacing?
We'll appeal the awareness of all the topics and the appeal, and balancing the flesh with the spiritual. Put a little more God in it. Yeah. We need it.
What kind of things do you think that you can contribute to make sure that it flourishes in the way where it can reach out to everybody in the world?
Well, I could say it, but I am to do it. And time will tell. Everything that we reach from now to come out of Superblue is to help to put it on course. That will be my
What's up, you're watching Caribbean Vibrations. It's your boy Alain, and today we are at the Delta Hotel in Scarborough, Ontario at the Cuttin Style, the 51st anniversary for the Trinidad and Tobago, brought to you by TTHG and Joan Pierre, and here's some scenes from this event. You're watching Caribbean Vibrations. We're here today at the Delta Toronto East at Cuttin Style with the two of the ladies behind the whole thing, Miss Claudia from the Trinidad Tobago Heritage Group, and again, my friend Joan Pierre. All right. So, tell us about the genesis. This is your second year doing this, and you guys put it on last year. So, tell us first about the Trinidad Tobago Heritage Group.
Trinidad Tobago Heritage Group was birthed out of 7 Trinidad and Tobagonians. And this came about because we did not hear nor see anything happening with the 50th anniversary, which is a great milestone for Trinidad. So a group of us got together and we said, we cannot see 50th go by like that. So then we decided to get it going. And a lot of hard work from last year actually brought this to happen for the second year. So this event will be a continuing event from now, from last year until the younger generation takes over.
I love that very much. And this year it was produced in association with Joan Pierre. So Joan, tell us about what you brought to the table this year.
Well, Cuttin Style is something we started in 2008 and 2009 with the Trinidad and Tobago Consulate Office with Michael Lashley at the helm. And after he retired, I wanted to continue because fashion is my thing. I wanted to continue doing it, but it was not something that the President Consul General had as their mandate in terms of what they do. It was different for Michael. So I have struggled with it for the last couple of years trying to do it myself. It's very difficult to do these things. It's costly. You have to get funding and all that. So this year I was trying again this year, and when last year having worked with the TTHG, I said, why don't we do it together? So we decided, hey, this is a good marriage. I worked with them last year. We did a successful event. Why not bring the thing that I so love into the mix and make it an annual event? So that's how the birth of the Cuttin Style and the TTHG happened.
Well, I gotta say, this is my first time coming, but I'm really enjoying the fact that I'm seeing a lot of designers. And when I was even talking to Claudia, their stuff can stand up with anybody. It's just they need to get the exposure. So right now, you're giving a lot of the opportunity to get more exposure. Now, is there anything else you guys are working on later on in the year? Because it's just this event you do for the year, or other things as well?
For the Trin and Bago Heritage Group, we actually going to be partnership with Joan Alexander and Colin Alexander in the Parang. That's another cultural event that happens, and that happens around November. So it's something that we want to see more Trinidad and Tobagonian and internationally people involved. So our heart is really to make sure that Trinidad and Tobago remains on the map. We don't want to be falling off the map. We don't have no intention of doing that, not at this present moment.
And of course, I can ask you what you're up to, but you're up to like 1,000 things. So tell me what you're up to, Joan.
Well, actually, in a couple of weeks, I'm working on the Toronto Film Showcase, Caribbean Toronto Film Showcase with Francis Ann. We have the opening on September 4th at Harbourfront, so I'm working on that. And after that, on the 18th of September, I'm doing Steps to South Africa. The tourism office in South Africa wants the Caribbean to get more involved in people traveling to South Africa. I've just put a group together that is going in October for 2 weeks. So now we're doing an event here to let people know more about South Africa.
Perfect. Thank you. Now, if you want to get more information, if you look right on the screen right now, you'll see their website, as well as Joan's website and her Facebook page. And you're watching Caribbean Vibrations. You're watching Caribbean Vibrations. We're still here at Cuttin Style, and we're here with Trinidadian-born, Toronto-raised fashion designer, Cherith Burke. So, tonight you had a chance to show what you can do, so tell us what was the inspiration behind your line tonight.
The most of my fabrics that I bought and that were used in that collection, I bought in Trinidad. So I was inspired. I went on a trip last year in October, and I got a chance to visit a lot of the different designers, and I go often. I have a lot of family there. So really just do a lot of touristy things that I don't usually get to do. So I was inspired by, I guess, just the vibrancy of Trinidad, which you can see in the burnout chiffon that I use. There's a lot of colors, and it's flowy and exciting, and yeah, and also the laid-backness, that's not a word,
it's all good,
of the island as well. It's a contradiction in itself to be vibrant and laid back, but that's what it is.
I like that. So what made you decide, hey, I want to design fashion?
To be quite honest, I'm not sure what really, I can't remember when the decision actually happened, because I've wanted to do a lot of things that were all surrounding fashion, but I've been sewing since I was a child. My aunts, my grandmother, my other auntie, they've all like indoctrinated that into me, and eventually I just kind of developed myself moving from different things until I decided that's what I wanted.
Now, since you're Trinidadian born, are you also a carnival player?
I've never played mass.
What? Wait, hold on. No, keep rolling. What?
I've never played mass. I do love carnival.
How can you not have played mass?
Because I live here, and
what's your point? I play mass.
I know, but it's on...
No, I don't. I just want to say that.
Oh, it's on Saturday. I'm Seventh-day Adventist, so I've never actually played Mass. But I do participate in other ways because I love to go to the King and Queen show. I've helped out at band camps over the years. I like help making the costumes, and some people have even approached me with designing costumes, so I'm thinking of doing that too. But it is something that I love. I would love to go to Trinidad and like be there in the like months before to see the development and everything of the costumes, because I think it's beautiful. I love seeing it.
Now, being a Caribbean person, how do you feel that as a Caribbean designer that we can get more of your designs into more of a mainstream market?
I think it's beautiful and it's necessary, and it's overdue, because like when you see people like Claudia Pegus or The Cloth, and you see how amazing their work is and how inventive their work is, it's a shame that it's taking so long for it to come out of the Caribbean, because really and truthfully, Claudia's work, it's at par with a lot of the Western designers that we have here, and even The Cloth, and it's perfect for resort wear or that whole season, and our spring-summer season as well.
So what's up next for you?
What's next for me is I want to try and do consignment and get my stuff into stores, so developing like a seasonal line. So I'm just working on that. I do a lot of private client work, so that's what I've been doing to kind of fine-tune what it is that my aesthetic is, because I'm a baby. I've only been doing this a couple years by myself since I've been out of school, so that's my goal right now.
You're watching Caribbean Vibrations. We're at Cuttin Style for Trinidad Independence, and we're here with the lovely Claudia Pegus. Now, tell us about your inspiration for your line tonight.
Tonight, my collection was inspired by Lana Del Rey, also the 40s Gatsby era. I wanted to show a very feminine collection, very soft colors. I also wanted to show the versatility of the line, in that someone in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. I wanted to give my entire client range a bit of something.
That's very interesting. Being an established person in the fashion industry, what keeps you driven? Like, what keeps you going when you look at what inspires you?
Well, I love what I do, that's number one. What inspires me? World events, books, theater, movies, all sorts of things. I was very much inspired by The Great Gatsby, The Return of the Great Gatsby, the movie that was just out, and I thought I wanted to play on that.
Now, another thing that when I talk to a lot of different people who are doing, like an entrepreneur like yourself, and you've been in business for a long time, I always say, what was the main thing that made you realize this is what you wanted to do? Was there like a certain event or just a series of events that led you to where you are now?
I spent some time with my aunt. My aunt had no kids, so I was like an adopted daughter, and she was an extremely good seamstress. So as a child, I grew up, you know, among machines, playing with pins and needles and fabrics. So it was a natural progression, you know. I remember when I was 12 years old, I helped my aunt produce costumes for an entire band. I was only 12 years old. So, you know, fashion to me came like balls and dolls and cricket bats and, you know, Barbie dolls for some girls. So
I know it's funny, I was going to ask you about Carnival too, but since you already answered that question, my next question to you is, being a Caribbean designer, what are some of the obstacles that we have as Caribbean people in getting into the mass market? Because, I mean, we've seen some success recently with the Project Runway thing, but still, you know, like, we're here and we know it's in the region, but to get us further out, because we have the talents.
But first to begin, the Caribbean region.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this week's show that was all about Trinidad Independence, which I'm sure was much better than the Guyana Independence and Jamaica Independence, but y'all didn't hear me say that. Anyways, follow us on Twitter, like our Facebook page, and check out our YouTube channel for more behind the scenes footage. And we're also on Instagram now, so make sure and follow us on that. All right? See you later next week.